Hello there, welcome to CoreTV News on the Hour. I'm Gete. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, is one of the former heads of state attending the National Council of State meeting. Buhari is attending the meeting for the first time in years, but former President Olusegun Obasanjo did not show up. Others in attendance are former President Shehu Shagari, former military heads of state Yakubu Gowon, Ibrahim Babangida, Abdul Salami Abubakar, and former head of the interim government, Ernest Shonekon. Virtually all the governors of the All Progressives Congress are at the meeting alongside Speaker of the House of Representatives Aminu Tambuwal, who has also not been regular at Council of State gatherings. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Tahiru Jega, all service chiefs, and the National Security Advisor are also at the presidential villa. Nigeria's main opposition party, the All Progressives Congress, says it will not accept any shift in the dates of elections slated for February 14th and 28th. It also wants the Council of State to resist any pressure to drag it into the plot to tamper with the election calendar. APC National Chairman John Odike Oyegun said at a news conference in Abuja that all indications point to the presidency and the ruling party as the masterminds of the recent clamor for new dates.
Nigerians understand where these orchestrated attempts involving instigation of political parties and other groups, flimsy legal challenges, as of today we have 6 against our candidates, against INEC, and against everybody who has anything to do positively with the elections. And the cynical manipulation of our national elders and leaders, we know where they are all coming from. These are part of the PDP script to deny Nigerians the right to choose their leaders on the 14th and 28th of February. We want to state quite clearly that the APC has faith in the distinguished members of the Council of State and advises them not to become tools in the hands of an administration that wants to subvert a fragile democratic process. INEC should be allowed to perform its duties without the overbearing interference from other institutions of state and the evil machinations of the PDP. The APC reaffirms its commitment to fully participate in the general elections on February 14th and 28th, as planned. We will not accept any postponement. We want to make that clear, and I repeat it. We will not accept any postponement.
A coalition of civil rights groups has thrown its weight behind the Independent National Electoral Commission in its bid to proceed with the February election in spite of pressures to push it to a later date. The coalition described recent moves, including protest marches and court cases, as part of a sinister plot to intimidate the electoral umpire to back down on its plans to go ahead with the election as scheduled. The rights activist also said they are keeping tabs on politicians making hate speeches and inciting comments with a view to ensuring they are brought to book.
There's nothing that calls for postponement of election. The situation does not warrant that, and we see it as a plot to derail our hard-earned civilian role, and we know the price that people pay for us to get to where we are today. And so to say that the forces behind the postponement wants to return out of that dark days, so there's every need and every reason for us to speak vehemently against it.
You see, we cannot eat our cake and have it. When politicians eat up the polity by the statements that they make, threatening violence, threatening that heaven will fall and the rest of that, then they should not expect us to reward them.
There has been a protest march in the Abuja city center by a group of Nigerians opposed to plans to postpone the February elections. The march, which began at the Unity Fountain, however, ended around Eagle Square after security personnel refused the protesters access to the road leading to the presidential villa. The protesters, who had placards of various inscriptions, insisted that the election have to hold as scheduled.
Today to discuss the possibility of postponing the election. And on behalf of the 170 million Nigerians, we have mobilized various groups in Abuja to come and demonstrate and register the pulse of Nigeria that the election should proceed. More so that the chairman of INEC has kept insisting that he is prepared to conduct the election. So we wonder why people who have no business with the election are sitting to suggest the postponement of the election. We are determined and committed to the unity of this country and will not allow anybody to take any step that will jeopardize our national security. This is why we're here.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has denied reports that it may postpone the February elections if the distribution of permanent voter cards is low. Reuters news agency had attributed the report to a national commissioner, Amina Zakari, but INEC spokesman Kayode Dowu insisted that the official has since denied making such claims when she was interviewed. As said in a statement issued in Abuja that the commissioner said she informed the interviewer that INEC had not foreclosed the possibility of granting a few days extension in states with low PVC collection rate. The commission, however, noted that the number of cards so far collected across the country exceeds the number of voter turnout in previous elections. The Independent National Electoral Commission says just over 500,000 people, or 58% of registered voters, have collected their permanent voter cards in the Federal Capital Territory. Resident Electoral Commissioner Jacob Datau disclosed this at a stakeholders meeting in Abuja. INEC and the police authorities also used the opportunity to assure political parties and FCT residents on their state of preparedness for the general elections.
We have given out about 58%, and I believe that we will reach up to 60%. The great problem we are challenging, we are facing is in Amak, where people, we have to continue to encourage them to come and collect these cards. The cards are there and they have to come and collect. On our own part, we have discussed with our staff and the cards are being given out from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. except of course sometimes that they may just take a break. So we have also received some materials, especially the non-sensitive materials, including the ballot boxes. We have received them. The card readers, we have received them, and some other non-sensitive materials, which we have started transporting them to the area councils.
We have been meeting in the last couple of months. We've put together a robust plan to give you adequate protection as you exercise your franchise. Only last week, the Inspector General of Police commissioned the Joint Operations Center that will house all the security agencies so that our coordination will be properly organized. But on our part, we want to appeal to you that you give every person that space they need to operate. Don't intimidate any person. Don't tear either your rival or somebody's poster.
You're watching CoreTV News on the Hour. We'll take a break. Please stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
The gubernatorial election is here again. The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, Lagos State Chapter presents Lagos Decides 2015. This is a platform designed to give equal opportunity to all the candidates vying for the post of governor in Lagos State. All candidates are hereby invited to present their respective manifestos to its select audience comprising of PR practitioners, media, and other prominent professionals. Lagos Decides 2015 comes up on Wednesday, 11 February 2015. Time, 11 a.m. Venue, LCCI Event Center, CBD, Alausa Ikeja. Admission is strictly by invitation. For sponsorship details and advert placement, call Joe on 0802 3924 913 or Jola on 0802 366 3429. Proudly supported by MITV, Star FM, 101.5, Galaxy Television, CoreTV, Cool TV, Wazobia TV, Nigeria Info, and Frontiers Consulting. The debate will be broadcast and streamed live. NIPR, deepening democratic values.
Welcome back. You can also catch us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter at CoreTV News NG. And on YouTube, it's youtube.com/CoreTV Lagos Space News. With barely few days to the general elections, the Lagos State chapter of the All Progressives Congress has raised the alarm over what it described as the unchecked reign of terror being unleashed on its members and negotiations by the People's Democratic Party. The Publicity Secretary of the party in Lagos, Joe Igbokwe, says the assault is being actively supported by the police.
The man threatened, the Commissioner of Police threatened that he's going to arrest any of LASA staff, doing their normal duty. What can you make out of that? They've already taken sides. And the moment he made that statement, like I said, that emboldened these people to unleash violence and terror on our people. We will not help them to pull down the house. We will seek redress the cause. If you see any of our adverts there, they are paid for. You have to seek a space, especially the electronic billboards and other mega billboards. You have to seek permit. These things were built by individuals, clients. They rent the space and build.
And now to Kwara State, where former staff of the Nigerian paper mill Jeba in Kwara have staged a protest over what this tagged non-payment of their full entitlement by the Bureau of Public Service in the last 13 years. The protesters lament their total neglect in this report presented by Rashid.
The dream of every worker is to retire to a well-deserved rest with all the necessary financial benefits. The reverse seems to be the case at the Nigerian paper mill industry in Jeba, Kwara State. The mostly aged protesters carried placards with various inscriptions complaining of being shortchanged in the payment of their entitlements.
What we are suffering, we are there in every day. We are dying. Our children cannot go to school. Our children have become drawers of water and hewers of wood. We cannot in position to train them. Even without our father, to even eat at home is a problem. You understand? Life has become one continual battle for survival. It is not easy for us to even survive. Many of, like in those days, we were like 3,000. But today now, that has reduced to less than 1,000 because of naked suffering. We battle with survival, we suffer every minute.
Of pathetic note is Simon Akman, a blind retiree who relives his agonies.
Nigerian paper mill, as the problem come in, I suffer a lot. My wife died. My children, my daughter died. Nothing with me. I have nothing to hold on. Now, the sickness will come hit me. Nobody to help me up till now. The government should arise and make and give us help. We need help. As a citizen of Nigeria, we are suffering more than as we are.
Okay.
The protesters called on the federal government to intervene in their case in order to forestall further deaths among its ranks, which has reduced to little over 1,000 from about 3,000. Rashid, CoreTV News, Jeba.
It's CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take another break. Stay with us.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News. Welcome back. Jordanian government has executed 2 jihadist convicts, one of them a woman, following the killing of one of its Air Force pilots by Islamic State militant. Government spokesman Mohammed Al-Momani says the female jailed suicide bomber Sadija al-Rishawi and Al-Qaeda operative Ziad Kabuli, both Iraqi nationals, were hanged at dawn. The executions came hours after Islamic State militant posted a video appearing to show pilot Moz al-Kazabe being burned alive. He was seized after crashing during an anti-ISIS mission over Syria in December. Jordan, which is part of the US-led coalition against ISIS militants, had tried to secure Qasesba's release as part of a prisoner swap, offering to free Rishawi. In exchange, ISIS had sought her release as part of a deal to free captive Japanese journalist Kenji Goto. A video that appeared to show Goto's dead body was posted online 4 days ago. She had been on death row for her role in attacks in Jordan's capital Amman, which killed 60 people in 2005. Kabuli was convicted in 2008 for killing a Jordanian national. Jordan earlier vowed an earth-shattering response after ISIS militants posted a video online showing what they say is the pilot standing in a cage engulfed in flames. That's our news for this hour. Please join us again. I am Gift or Gete. Enjoy the rest of our programs.